Hey everybody, welcome to the channel Sway by Positivity. I am Valerie, and you may have been used to seeing this channel under Self Care with Val. And there's a story behind why I changed it to Sway by Positivity. But um, before we jump in, I just wanted to say thank you for joining. It's been a minute since I've been here, but if you're new, if you'll hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell, and without further ado, I'm just going to jump right in because I've never been one to have these fancy introductions. I'm just trying to gain some type of consistency now that I'm back to YouTube. So when I decided to even try to post anything on YouTube, my channel was called Swayed by Positivity. And it to me, it was doing really well. And I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Because I decided to, after doing all this, influencer researching and finding my niche or whatever, it was self care, right? And so I changed it to Self Care with Val. And then I started posting a lot of, because I'm really into journaling. I'm a happiness life coach. Um, and one of the things that, I've been able to help people do while building or finding some type of happiness in their lifestyle has been through practicing self-care. But this year has been a very interesting journey. I have like really been consistent with my spiritual journey. And so in doing so, a lot of things have changed. I've been convicted of some things. I prayed about, where and how God wants to use me. And one of the ways that he told me was to come back to YouTube, right? But I needed to change it back to Sway by Positivity because I don't want to idolize self care, right? Because even though we want to make sure that we are operating with a full cup so that we can pour positive things into other people, we don't want it to always be about us because, you know, we want to put other people before ourselves in the sense of serving, right? But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to just say, hey, I started off on my laptop, and for some reason, my little cute little pink microphone, it just all of a sudden didn't want to recognize my microphone. And so I really think that it was just the devil trying to attack me because I already kind of was not, I was a little like concerned. No, I'm sorry. I was worried. I ain't lying. I'm not about to be disobedient and lie to y'all, but I was worried because, of course, everybody knows that, with the government shutdown, that airplanes and airports are not functioning in the capacity that they would like, that they're normally functioning, because a lot of people have walked away from their jobs because they don't want to work for free, right? And so I'm not complaining about that, but it's just the process has taken so long. So my son was in one destination where the airport was absolutely um, dead, right? So, but because of where he had a layover, and because there was a delay in those flights, his flight took off 2 hours late, right? So he gets to the layover city, and it went from being a 1 hour delay to a 4 hour delay. And this was my youngest son's first time traveling via airplane by himself. So, of course, you know me, Mama Bear, I'm all like, ugh, I hope he doesn't have to stay overnight. I don't want him to get somebody to scam him. I don't want, you don't want anything to happen to your children because you just don't. He would have been 4 hours from us if there was any type of emergency. And so I had to remind myself to pray. So I prayed, right? But and then I talked to him. He called me. I talked to him for a while. And so he's finally, in the meantime, I'm trying to record this video because I had made plans to record today, right? So in the midst of me trying to record, I'm worrying about him. And then at the same time, stuff wouldn't act with the laptop. Now, listen, I have a brand new laptop. I have a brand new Brio 101 digital camera. I have a pink podcasting microphone that I have been using, and I think maybe she's kind of kaput. Like maybe she has been plugged up and unplugged, or maybe I've dropped her too many times, but the laptop stopped recognizing it. So I plugged it in. I hopped into Descript. Descript saw it and started recording, and then all of a sudden Descript was like, "Hey, we don't see it anymore. It's not there." And so I went into my settings, and for whatever reason, I just couldn't get it to work. So I think she's gone. She had a good run though, because I've been podcasting for about 3 years now. So yeah. And then to top that off, these headphones are like the bomb diggity, but they connect to a sound box that can be hooked up to my computer via USB, right? So sometimes I use it to record my podcast. By the way, the podcast is Mind Body Balance Podcast. Just in case you haven't checked it out, it's on Apple Podcasts and it's on Spotify. So yeah, go check it out. But I don't know. I think when I unplugged it from the computer, it kind of the little volume box, control box, kind of hit the side of my desk, and now the back has come off. And I have another cord with another power like sound box on it, but I can't find it. And so now it's like, I don't need that. I'm using it because I was able to take that part and unplug it and plug it into my phone. So, but I need it to work for my computer because the only other headset I have, it only has one speaker. With Zoom, when I'm listening to calls, the one person plays in one ear and one person plays in the other ear. So I don't know how that's going to work. We'll see tomorrow. But anyway, so I got all this stuff going on while I'm trying to record this video. So I know it was the devil I recognize that it was the devil trying to distract me, right? But whatever authority he has, it has to flee. I declare it to be removed because whatever plans, whatever actions has no authority here in this household. Let me put it that way. So what have I been doing? So I have been like really, just really in the word. Like let me tell y'all, last year I read 75 books, and I was a paranormal erotica romance reader. Loved romance, loved mystery thriller, suspense, pretty much anything. But I'm a mood reader, right? And so yeah, last year I read 75 books, and I had a whole Bookstagram going, almost 2,000 followers. I was doing good. I was interviewing authors on my podcast. I was doing ARC reads, having a good old time. And then January, I did a social media fast. and I did it for 31 days. And once I was done, I really didn't care to. I didn't have a thirst to go back to a lot of the platforms I was on, like TikTok, Facebook. I just really don't and have not been there. A matter of fact, I have removed Facebook from my main cell phone. TikTok has been removed from all of my devices. Um, it just was a lot of disgusting stuff. It just was, I didn't like the fact that the algorithm, despite what I was telling it I wanted to see, it was still feeding me what it wanted to feed me, which was um, just a lot of chaos and confusion. And so I didn't want that. And so, but in that 31 days, I read my Bible. I developed a habit of prayer because let me tell you, some days I would pray, some days I wouldn't, or I would pray at the last minute because I'm trying to, you know, I need God to make a move in my life. And so a lot of things have changed. And instead of picking up a book, I am picking up the book. So I believe I started trying to read it in chronological order. Then I switched from maybe trying to read the shorter books first. And then I wanted to make sure I read Revelations because there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world today. And I need to know what Revelation says. And so I read Revelations. I really wanted to study it, but I read it so that I could be familiar with what is going on, because it does talk a lot about the end times, and some of these things we're starting to see manifest, right? And not manifest, but take place. And then I went back to reading in chronological order. So right now I am in Psalms. So I've read in order in the Bible. I've read up to um, First Chronicles, but then I went back to chronological order. So I'm in Psalms right now, and when I tell you I am in love with Psalms, like I am taking my time and just, I'm finding that I can use so many of them just to pray in my prayer time, right? And then I've been just trying to look at my room and see where specifically can I, create or designate my prayer space. I pray in different places now. I can go to the bathroom and be sitting and pray with no problem. But, when I get up in the morning and I give Heavenly Father that first piece of my day when I wake up, I want it to be somewhere specific. And so I had, y'all, you see this little area back here? That's on the other side of my bed. And that's where I was at first, right? And so my big butt cannot get on the floor and get back up like I thought I could. And then it's just not enough space. It just wasn't. I thought it was going to work, but it wasn't. And so I ended up moving my bookcase over. It's on the other side of my bed. I moved it over closer to the closet, which opened up a lot more space between my book space and my nightstand. And so I've got me a nice, it's not a comfy chair, it's a chair with a comfy pillow. And I have my hoodies right there. I have like a little basket with my hoodies in it, my blankets, because when I get up in the morning, it be cold. I'm getting older, and my bones, they starting to get colder. Even though I'm still a big girly, my bones still getting kind of chilly. So anyway, I'm getting off topic, but that area isn't. I would show you guys that area, but it's not decorated the way I want it to be decorated. However, it's a space for me to get up in the morning, move straight from the bed to it. No distractions, no TV, no phones, no iPad. And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing. So, whenever I come to you guys, I'm going to be coming and I'm going to be talking about my walk with God. I'm going to be talking about how I am, still, practicing some type of self care. Um, I'm still bringing my journal pages, especially if I'm Bible journaling or if I'm, you know, show you my Bible study pages. I'm still going to share with you my coloring pages. So it's just going to be a lot of stuff, to either help you feel good, give you some ideas on things that you could do to make you feel good. But it's just going to be a positive space. That is the purpose, is to create a positive space, because that's what God told me to do. And so, um, yeah, that's the habits I'm trying to form, right? Um, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm on my phone. I will figure out what I need to figure out because I'm that girl. Yes, I'm. You know, I usually teach my own self tech stuff, but I just really think that the microphone is gone. So I'll probably need to find another one. If you guys have any, I'm pretty sure I could find something on my own, but if you find something that works for you, leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think or what your suggestions are. If you are looking to build a stronger, better relationship with God, and you want to reach out to me, I'm still on Instagram. I'm still on Threads. Well, I'm on Threads more than I'm on anything. And if you guys didn't know, it has a very huge Christian presence. Or I don't want to really say Christian, but there are a lot of Jesus believers on there, and the community is just so welcoming and loving. And I'm on Pinterest still, and sometimes I'm on Lemonade, sometimes, but and then I think I'm gonna take my journaling stuff back to Reddit. So, but anyway, if you want to, engage, leave a comment. Again, I thank you for tuning in. And, if you're going to be swayed by anything, be swayed by positivity. And I'll see you guys again later. Okay, bye. Oh, don't forget to check out the podcast, Mind, Body, Balance.